I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Sunderland Till I Die After Show. I'm Kelsey Meyer, and I'm joined by the lovely Toree.
Yes, hey guys.
Hi, Toree. And today we're talking about the second episode of season 2. It's called The Old-Fashioned Way. So I kind of broke it down, Tor. Three main things I want to talk about. The payment for the players that they kind of touched on at the beginning, the supporters meeting, and then the transfers of like key young players. Then we have a fun little special Underdog segment and a news segment. So let's jump on in. I thought that was wild when they talked at the beginning about the discrepancy between a premier player and what they get and then like what the Sunderland players get. Was that not mind-blowing?
No, that was very mind-blowing. And of course, in the first episode, they announced that they had made the switch between leagues, but I didn't have any idea of how drastic that would be. So when they finally put it up on the screen and actually broke it down, I was like, wow, I can only imagine how their households were affected. I can only imagine how they felt. It was crazy to actually see it laid out and actually see it in black and white, what the drastic change was.
It was wild. And the numbers, what did they say? It was Premier League gets something like £64,000 a week, and then their League One gets £2,000 a week.
Yes.
Nothing. And then you see that it's like the little personal story of one of the players with his wife and his 2 kids. And it's just like, oh my gosh, you're so empathetic for them, right? You're like, how are you making this work? It's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was just of course, again, as fans, you're just kind of looking to see them play the game and that's it. And then when you break down how much they're making and then how much they make the next year because of different changes, it's just wow, these are still people that have to, the wife said, bills still have to get paid, so whatever the income is, we still have to pay these bills over here. And it was just crazy because life just keeps happening. And to see them all have to make that adjustment and then determine if they want to stay or if they want to move somewhere else that was offering a little bit more money, it's tough decisions.
Right. Well, and what did you think about, because it was hard for me. It's I go back and forth. I feel for the players, but then I also feel for this new management who has to make these cuts or else there's going to be no program, right? What did you think about all of that?
Yeah, I felt the same way that you just said, just kind of torn in between the two, because you feel for the players and you want them to, make money in order to sustain the lifestyle that they have. But then again, you have these new owners that are coming in a hole already that are trying to just kind of dig their way out of a hole, which is always hard because it's they didn't put themselves in that situation and they're coming into a not so pleasant situation with the team, just trying to figure out ways to kind of get them out the hole and then, expand even more. So it's just kind of you feel for everybody involved, everybody's trying to make the most of the situation. And on top of that, you're kind of dealing with people not staying. So it was a lot. You just realize again how many factors go into trying to make a team work.
Right. And people not staying and then the fans being affected by that. And the fans are everything for them, right? So I just was like, oh my gosh, I could not imagine, nor would I want to be in the position of trying to bring someone out of a hole like that. And that's why I thought that the supporters meeting that they had was really cool. And I love that they have these because I'm like, wow, it shows how much they thrive off of this fan support, and I thought that what the new owners had to say to them and how they interacted with them was really cool. Really cool.
Yeah,
Did
for
you
sure.
think,
It was another one of those moments, kind of like how we saw in the first episode where they brought the fans, in to help change the stadium. It was just showing again how much the fans mean to the team and how much they value their opinion, they value their support, they value their loyalty. And when we were in the first episode, we kind of saw that, like you said, the team is kind of all they have. That's really what they're holding on to for positivity and things like that. So it's kind of you feel for the team, but then you just feel for the community as a whole. And it's just geez, what can we do to get ourselves out of this?
And you thrive off the fans' energy, right? Because I felt I had no idea who these new people were, or this new staff. And then you hear all the testimonials kind of from, each fan and season ticket holders, and they're like, oh, we like this new energy, we like this guy, we feel like they're starting to actually care about us, they want to bring the team back to us. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm on your guys' team now, I'm on your page, like, okay. And it's just so interesting, it's so wild, and it's like a fan base I've never seen before. It's crazy.
For sure. The loyalty, no matter how well or how bad they do during the season, is amazing. I mean, like you said, it's the fan base that you would want to have if you were in that situation, because they still show up, they show out, and they support no matter how the team is doing. And I think that's amazing. And especially seeing them kind of do well. And of course, I hope this continues on for the rest of the series, that they are, winning games and things like that. I just hope that the fans kind of get even more involved or feel like they're kind of getting something back for all of their support.
Right. It was funny. I think it was one of them. I think it was Charlie who said something like, these fans they either make or break it or make or break you. He was like, they'll put me in an early grave, but they're the fans that you want. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, do we have supporter meetings for teams here? No. I don't know why that scene, and that was the second one, or we've seen a couple of those meetings. I'm like, I love that. They just come in and they want what's best for their team, and they want what's best for the players and as well as their city.
Yeah, and I think some other teams need to start having fan meetings, because there've been so many times when I just want to, get the team together and be like, this is what we need to do.
I know.
We're not winning, and this is what we need. So I was just like, some other teams could really take a page out of their book, because I have some things that I want to get off my chest.
Right. I know. I totally agree. It would be interesting to see. I wonder how this series will do. I'm like, who's watching this? Are all y'all out here? All you NFL people, are you watching this? Are you seeing what's going on? I'm like, probably not, but hopefully, because that would be great. I'm right there with you. I'm like, I would definitely attend some of those supporter meetings.
For sure.
They have their pints and they're just like laying into them. I'm like, I loved it. And then what about the transfers? That was such a huge part of this episode. And I was, it kind of breaks your heart.
It does. It does break your heart, because you want the team to do well. It's so many factors. And when you know all the factors, you don't really know who to lean towards and what side to be on, because you have this team of underdogs. You want them to do well.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that because they are underdogs in the league that they're in, that they have a drastic pay cut that could really affect some of the players. So you want the players to stay because they have a great team that they're building. You want them to win, but then you also realize they could, they might be able to benefit from moving teams, which will also, change this team over here. That would really shake up Sunderland and their team that they had, as one of their key players ends up transferring. So it's just kind of like, do you want them to stay and tough it out and hopefully, bring the city more glory, or do you want them to go on and do what's best for them individually? And it's kind of hard putting yourself in a position to pick either yourself or the team. And I know when you're a part of the team, you always want the team to come first and things like that. But sometimes in life, there are tough decisions where you have to pick between yourself or these group of people who are depending on you. And that can be super tough. And I honestly don't know. I didn't know what I wanted the players to do, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, me watching it, I wanted them to stay with the team, but trying to put myself in those shoes, I understood being kind of straddling the fence. I understood that it was a hard, pull and tug. So what do you think? I don't know.
It was interesting. I was like, how they left this episode. I mean, they leave you on such a cliffhanger. You're like, is Josh gonna stay? Is he gonna leave? What's going on? And you see this young kid, they brought him in when they scouted him, from the youth league, right? And brought him in, and he's kind of grown up with this team. And I totally agree with you. It's hard to watch. You want them to stay. And the only thing that made me sour, and I was hoping, who knows what he'll end up doing? We'll obviously find out. But when the owners were talking about how they think his agent, it's his agent is more in than Josh was. They're like, oh, the agent just wants money. That's why they want him to transfer. And I'm like, man, you just want people to be good people. And so I don't know.
Yeah, it was hard to see, because right after that, they actually switched to Josh, and Josh didn't really know what was going on, didn't really have any feelings towards staying, or I don't know if he didn't have any feelings, but he didn't verbalize, whether he wanted to stay or leave. And I was just kind of like, you can just, again, it kind of emphasizes that the agent is the one doing the work and the agent isn't the one that's on the team. So of course he doesn't really know, the team culture and stuff like that and the things that we're holding on to as viewers. He just, like the owner said, his job, of course, is to be in it, to make the best deal, the best financial move. And it's kind of like, as the watcher, like, no, we want to do what's best for the team. Like,
I know.
no, stay with us. So it was just interesting to see. And I thought, Josh, when he was first on the camera, I wanted him to be like, no, I'm staying. But of course, like I said, I understand the situation that he's in. So we never know.
Do you think that I almost felt like, they were making it seem this way with the cuts to his hands, like him being like clearly uncomfortable. Like, I wonder if he knew more about it than he was leading on, because he just kept being like, I just want to play football. I just want to play football. And I was like, okay, but like, what's going on, but maybe he doesn't. I kind of felt like he knew a little bit more and just was uncomfortable telling the camera, which heck yeah, totally valid. But what did you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely was like, okay, when he was on the screen, I was like, this is the politically correct answer, just stick to something that's neutral and we'll just all find out at the same time, because that can just create mess. And he's probably just not looking to create drama. He just is strictly about the football. He had just gotten his 10th goal. So he probably just wants the press and the buzz to be around that and not whether he was leaving or staying, or if 1 month he decided to stay, but then he changed his mind. That's a lot, having everyone just kind of try to be in your head when you don't even know the decision that you're going to make. So I can definitely understand if he was just kind of like, even if he knew the decision that he was going to make in the back of his head, but felt like that wasn't the right time to do it. Like, that's completely respectable. And I was like, you know what, even if he does know, it's not our business to, figure out whether he wants to stay or not. So I think that was a very smart move. Of course, as a viewer, I wanted to know if he was going to leave or stay, but I can definitely respect that privacy. Like, we'll all figure out and find out when it's the right time. And I think that was a really smart move to make.
I agree with you. And I think one of the other like younger players touched on it, because it's like, they're all 19 and 20. How do you know what to do with your life? So it's like the one person you should be relying on, besides your parents, is your agent. And it was interesting. Yet one of the other young players mentioned, like, there's 1,000,001 people telling you what to do. People who don't even know you are telling you what to do. So you got to just tune them all out and talk to the people who are going to be in your best interest. And you hope that that's the agent. So I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'm excited to see, but I'm also nervous. I feel like some part of me feels like he's going to leave, and I'm like, don't leave. But
yeah, and I can definitely, I understand and respect either decision, honestly, because he is obviously doing really well. And like you said, just in the beginning of the episode, realizing the pay cut that he's taking to be there with the talent that he has, I can understand if he wants to stay or if he wants to leave. It is up to him and what he feels like is best for him. And I'm hoping that it's in the next episode that we'll find out, because I know. Just can't, like, I want to know.
Sam, me too. Well, hopefully we'll find out. And then Tor, let me hear your fabulous Underdog segment. I'm ready.
Yes. So I don't know why I have like all these personal connections to all these Underdog stories, but in 2018, the Washington Capitals were able to beat the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 5 of 2018 Stanley Cup and ended up winning the Stanley Cup. And I don't know if you guys know, but like Washington, D.C. is like city of the underdogs. Our sports teams are just kind of like, you cheer for them from afar, but sometimes they don't always make it that far. So again, like I said, I'm just always there when an underdog wins, because the streets again were filled. I mean, there was our native, I guess, song is Go Go, and there was like Go Go playing. You could hear it from anywhere. Like, everyone was just super excited. People were out dancing and singing and just cheering all night. Not even the official parade. This is the night that they won. And hockey games can go on for forever. And so it's like midnight and everyone's cheering and singing and dancing. And it was amazing. It was amazing atmosphere. Me being from DC, I haven't really seen anybody really win a championship in a long time, or if ever. So seeing them win their first Stanley Cup was just amazing to be around. And I'm always a sucker for the underdog. So I'm always rooting for DC anyway.
Listening to you and these personal underdog stories, like, fire me up. I love it. I'm like, man, can we win something soon? once we leave quarantine and sports are allowed again. Like,
Exactly.
oh man, that gets me excited. I
Yes.
love that. I love that. And I hear you. I said it last time, but coming from such an underdog college, I always root for the underdog too. I'm like, you have to. It's not fun. It's not fun if you don't. If you're rooting for someone who always wins, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, how much fun was that? It wasn't.
Exactly.
It wasn't. You always
It's like
win.
it's almost like cheating. It's almost like rooting for the computer when you're playing like a video game. Like, why would you root for them? They have all the tools to win, you know? So it's amazing seeing, and just the energy when the underdog wins. It's crazy. Like the minute they score the whatever, the goal or anything, whatever, the streets are full the exact same minute. It's like, it's crazy. Like everybody is just pumped up on adrenaline as if they were the one that made the scoring goal. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And that's why you just hope that for this team, right? Because it's like you have, oh, I know. You hope that for this team and this city and these people. Ah, it's gonna break my heart if they don't do well. It really is. It really is. I'm like, now I'm in this. I'm too far in. But what's your fun little news segment? You briefly
Yes, so
told
I
me.
have
I'm
some
excited.
interesting news. Yes, so actually, one of the former Sunderland wingers, James McLean, paid for 4 homeless people to stay in a hotel for the week. And honestly, it is a cause that is dear to his heart. He understands that he explained in the newspaper that he understands that homelessness is a problem everywhere and he can't tackle the problem by himself, but he's trying to make a change in whatever way that he can, helping in whatever way. Homelessness, I think, is something that touches everyone because it happens
Mm,
everywhere, no matter where you are. He's helped 4 of them in his hometown, which is in Ireland, but all of us are experiencing it no matter where we are in the globe. And it's just touching to kind of see people in a position to help give back. And it was just really, really heartwarming to see.
I love that. And I agree. It's when you see people who have this platform using it for good like that. It's really cool. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that story. So
Yes, it
cute.
was amazing.
And I
Yeah.
just want to say thank you to all of our AfterBuzzers, all our viewers. Thank you for staying home. I hope you're staying home and you're staying safe and you're trying to stay positive during these crazy times. Toree and I thank you for watching us, and we hope you continue watching us and all the other after shows. Stay inside, watch Sunderland till I die. Watch me and Toree, and subscribe and like and comment. We want to hear what you have to say. And Toree, please tell us where we can find you on social media.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Toxic Model, or you can find me on Twitter at Toree with 2 E's. I am in the middle of rebranding because I had these Instagram handles since I was in high school.
I like
So
it.
I might have a new name coming soon.
Amazing. But for now, Toxic Model.
Yes.
Love it. I love it. And mine is Kelsey Meyer too. So follow me too. And thank you. And we hope to see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Thank you.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.